What is up, RetroManiacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike, and I am from Mike's Retro Trading Cards. It's National Week, boys. You know what that means. It is time to give you my best piece of advice. If you're going to the National, sensible shoes. Because if you don't wear sensible shoes, it's just not sensible. Am I right or am I right, boys? Joe
and
socks. The heck. And socks.
Sensible shoes.
Only
sensible
one
socks.
piece of advice. It has to be sensible shoes.
Don't be nonsensical. Be
No,
sensible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are sensible. These are the two most sensible guys I've ever met.
Oh,
I already said your names, but Joe
Yeah.
was talking, so it's okay.
we
We're
got to
not
get the
professional.
we had to get the socks in there. I mean, if you're wearing sensible shoes but thin socks, you're gonna get blisters. You just are. You just absolutely are. So wear the thick socks. It sounds like weird advice. Wear thick socks so that when your shoes rub,
Like
you
wool
won't get
hunting
blisters.
socks? Like giant wool
Pretty
hunting
close.
socks?
Pretty close.
I think we should pivot and just, talk the whole episode about how important it is to wear sensible shoes at the National.
And in all scenarios, actually. Not just the national. Know what
That's
shoes to wear.
true, yes.
Always know what shoes to wear.
There's probably 1 million reasons to wear sensible shoes and socks. I would say. Yeah.
And
So
don't
pull 'em out
buy
your-
them off the rack. Go to
No,
one of
no.
those like shoe fitting places. They'll definitely hook you up. They'll give you some of those big soled white shoes that like
Yeah.
the nurses used to wear back in the day. Anyway, we got to get out of this
Off the
somehow.
rails.
How's it going, boy?
That's the craziest off the rails
Yeah.
moment we've had.
Yeah.
We've
up
had
there.
a lot, but that one was out there.
Guys, we're speaking of the National. I am in Chicago. I'm in my Airbnb at the National. I'm not. I'm actually at Jamie and Mike Jones's Airbnb here in Danville, Pennsylvania.
Head of security.
Head of
Mike,
security
yeah.
for those of you who were at the card show on
Protected
Saturday.
us,
Yes. Head of security Mike Jones and his lovely fiance Jamie. They always invite me over their home while I'm in Danville, so I can use their internet, so I can do this podcast. That is literally the steps I take
That
to
is
bring this
sensible.
show to you guys. Yes, sensible, very sensible. So yes, I'm in Mike Jones's. You can see his Batman and very nice setup here with the comic books and stuff. So I feel kind of at home a little bit, nerding out. But he made me steak last night, steak on the grill, like
Wow.
delicious steak on the grill with shrimp, corn on the cob. It was quite the
Our invite. Like,
You went to Mod Pizza, man. You would. I don't know if you would have skipped Mod
I feel
Pizza,
like
but-
EP and I should have been invited. Like, what's going on here? Are you like branching off? You guys going to start your own YouTube channel?
I cannot confirm nor deny any accusations there, but
We can
no.
hope.
So I'm at Mike Jones's house, and thank you to Mike and Jamie for that. But yeah, I'm still worn out from the card show, boys. We'll talk about it later. But I'm like, and then we're gonna go play golf. I don't know if my body can take the physical activity that's occurring, but yeah, doing pretty good though.
I feel like everybody's noticed Mike wearing a golf shirt. A non retro trading cards golf shirt at this point. But yeah, we're definitely playing golf after this. It's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. I've been talking about this golf round to a lot of people for a while, just because of how excited I am. I can't wait to get out there and play with you guys. So yeah, speaking of Mike Jones, he was nice enough to bring me a little something. Brought me a Cracker Jack Frank Thomas card, which I don't own. So it's a very, very cool, very, very cool card. So I was happy to see him there. I figured he'd probably be there since Joe was gonna be staying there. Nice to see him. Keeping security. Whenever there's a security shirt, I love it. It's hilarious. It's great. So
It was great when he had to tackle that one guy that was
Yeah,
coming at you because you didn't like the deal. Yeah. The
Yeah.
25-cent cards were too expensive. He's like, oh my God, this Torrey Holt card I have here is only 18 cents. I looked it up on eBay. It was terrible.
it's got a ding corner. That's not worth 25 cents.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Or was it a Christian Ponder? It might have been the Christian.
Might have been Christian Ponder.
It might have been Kimball Anders. We were randomly talking about him a lot yesterday.
I know it wasn't John Riggins.
It was not John Riggins.
No, we did eventually find those though. We can get into
We'll
that
talk
a little
about
bit
that.
later. We'll talk
You
about
leave
that.
that alone. We'll talk about that later. One thing I do want to bring up before we get into the show is a friend of the channel, and this is why I wanted to bring it up. A friend of the channel, someone who actually bought into the Cheers break I did on the channel, Ryan He posted something on Twitter. Mike, you sent it to me. I didn't even notice it. He had bought a Benedict Cumberbatch Star Trek Inflections autograph on eBay. Okay. PSA graded. I think it was a PSA 8. The auto was not graded, but the pictures that were used for this card were from the eBay scan, or I'm sorry, the PSA scans that they do after they grade a card. And EP, crack open your beer. I know you're like holding off. Crack open your beer. It's fine. Did you crack it? Okay, you got it. Okay, he's good. He's good now. Yeah, okay.
That's why I muted myself. I muted myself. I wouldn't.
No, we like to hear the noise of a cracker, but
Yeah.
we'll have a couple of those on the golf course, by the way, today.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
5
or 6.
So he ended up getting this card, paid like $500 for it on eBay. Ended up getting this card, and the autograph was faded to all kinds of hell. Like, not just like streaky. Let me explain. When an autograph starts to fade, it goes from a blue, which most autographs are blue ink, I've noticed. It goes from a blue to like a black/gray. And this is what was going on. It's basically like the guy had gotten this autograph, this card back from PSA, and just like put it into the sunlight and said, okay, I'm going to forget about this card for 6 months. And he was upset by it, as he should be. Passed eBay authentication because it was graded. And guess what? They only look at the slab. They make sure the cert number's right. They make sure the slab has not been tampered with. They don't look at the card. It's the Geoff Wilson approach, if you will. And it was so ridiculous to me that people were actually defending the seller on this one. Imagine if the seller had taken a picture of a card, dropped it 6 months ago, dropped it on the floor as he was listing it, and used the picture from 6 months ago, not the picture of a dinged card. Like, it's the same thing. An autograph matters just as much, if not more, than the other 4 categories. So the people defending this, it was weird. Like, why would you defend the seller on this? This is the problem with people selling cards on eBay a lot of times, hiding shit. It's like hiding a scratch on the surface. It really is, like tricky camera angles. And eBay and PSA, what are you doing? Fix your program. You shouldn't be sending out fake Michael Jordan PMGs. You shouldn't be sending out this autograph, which clearly is not, no one would pay the amount he paid for this autograph if they saw the actual autograph. So I don't know. I was incensed about this. You sent it to me, Mike, and I think I talked about it like 50 times. I was so pissed about this thing. Probably had something to do with it being a Trek auto, but still, I was so pissed about this. I rant over. I apologize, but yeah, I'm getting heated up now.
Pro tip for eBay sellers: do not store your cards, especially autograph cards, on the dashboard of your car that you go driving around in, because
in Arizona,
right. Like the thing is, like, the authenticator should have looked at this card and looked at the listing and said, like, because the not just the auto was faded, but the actual, like, the photo, the background of the photo with the actor was also, like, you could tell that it was not as
crisp.
The color was less saturated. It was like desaturated almost.
Yeah.
Compared to the photo that was the listing. So it was. I mean, I don't know what they're told to do as far as like what the graders are told, or the authenticators are told to do when they get these cards. But if you looked at this card and looked at the listing, it's, I mean, look, almost like a totally different card, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they unfortunately, if it's graded, they act like what is encapsulated in that slab can never change. And like, that's the problem. They're only looking at the slab and the label, making sure it's real, making sure the cert number is right, and making sure it wasn't tampered with, making sure there aren't cracks in the slab, but they don't give a damn about the card.
Right.
Like this again, here's a huge problem with grading, is the assumption that once something's in a slab and it has a grade on it, it is always that grade. There are a lot of things that can happen to a card that could change the grade of the card once it's in a slab. Like this, we need to stop acting like that's not a thing. It absolutely. Send me whatever PSA 10 you want to. I'll let it sit out in the sun for a couple weeks, and then I'll bring it in. Tell me if it's the same card. It's like, again, we talked about this with the Michael Jordan PMG. there's an obvious difference with the card, a noticeable flaw with the card that shouldn't be there, like they need to kick that back and not authenticate it. It can't just be the slab saying, oh, whatever's in the slab doesn't matter. Only the slab and the label matters. Come on. Like, again, there's a card. The whole point of grading is to send a card to be put in a slab. But then when you're sending it through eBay authentication, it doesn't matter what the card is. If I had a way to get a completely different card in there, but not like seal it just like PSA did, they're going to approve it?
Yeah, they will. Well, they will.
Yeah, the authenticators are probably like, well, somebody higher up in the food chain than me said this was this, so it's got to be right. So all we got to do is make sure that's correct. That's probably what they're instructed, right? That's probably what they're told. Like, yeah, we already graded this, so yeah.
That's the way the process goes.
You had a Ricky Williams refractor EP from 1999 Topps Chrome, right? And Mike came over and we were talking about it. I said, I actually have the Ricky Williams refractor that I sent in 2000, the year after, right? One of the first orders we ever sent. And it has the dreaded Topps Chrome film that has grown on it. But it's in a PSA 10 slab, so I guess it's a PSA 10. Like, if I sold that card as a PSA 10 and used some tricky camera angles or, whatever, had a picture of it from way back then, and then they got the card, you're telling me that that's okay? Come on now. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. And then the other one is when Geoff Wilson was investing in that bumper company. I've talked about the story before, that the slab bumper company puts a Derek Jeter SP rookie card in the bumper, chucks it across a card show floor on concrete, takes it out of the bumper. See, look, the slab's good. What about the card that was getting thrown across in plastic, probably dinging the edges and corners? Like, what are we doing? Why even have the program at this point if you're not going to look at the actual card? So I was one of the biggest proponents of this program for the longest time. I'm seeing a lot of flaws with it recently, and yeah, I don't know. It's getting kind of ridiculous. Take pictures of your slabs like EP. I made fun of you, EP, for doing that. Yeah. I did, and I'll when I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. I said, EP, just use the pictures that SGC is providing or PSA is providing. No, I like to take a picture of the card in hand. Kudos to you for doing that as a seller. I was wrong on that. You're doing the right thing.
I still think the program is necessary. I wouldn't want to see it go away, but they definitely can improve it. Like, they're definitely, like you said, there are definitely flaws and a lot of flaws here with the fix. But I mean, it's definitely fixable. Like, and I feel like it's been, we've talked a lot about how much we like it in the past. So these obviously they're going through a rough stretch right now, but I still think it needs to exist just because the high end stuff, that is where a lot of fraud could take place, and I'm glad.
Like Red PMG Jordans, for example.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure
we only hear about the ones that don't work out, right? We don't hear about the ones that are good. I'm sorry, Mike.
Everybody's waiting to hear about the card show.
Yeah.
That's right. I set up at my first card show this past weekend. At least about the same size as National, right? Like,
it was super close.
Yeah. At the Susquehanna Valley Mall. Had a great time. Lots of stories. We were all there. Some of you came up and met us. Some of you drove 8 hours one way to get there and drove back. Yeah. You guys are crazy. I loved it, though. The amazing thing to me, I was saying to you guys, is the fact that we had people come up, talk to us, give us something, like they know like what we collect, what we like. It's crazy. These people that we don't even know, like people that don't even comment, that are talking to us like they're our friends, like because they know so much about us and our collecting. It was such a great time. We met some great people. Kevin from Harrisburg, I finally got to meet, and great guy. Mark Stover came down from Maine. Like, there are a lot of you out there that didn't drive that were within a 24-hour drive. Wow. I don't know why you didn't show up, but you're on the list. But what a great day. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was, I drove in for the show, not really to sell anything. And thank God, because I got stuck at the ass crack of 2 tables. Thanks, EP, for that, by the way. I brought my wares all the way from Pittsburgh. And EP's like, here's a 6-inch square area for you to set up next to Rob, the guy from the other thing that you do. And how about him trying to like poach sales as I'm like, this guy was out of control. He's lucky I didn't send security over to him, like our security, like
right.
Mossad over there, Mike Jones. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And it is. So I want to talk about Kevin from Harrisburg real quick. I unfortunately the cards are still in my car. I will open them next week on the show. But the pack that he had given EP like probably a year ago at this point to get to us, EP
Thanks,
finally
EP.
brought those. Yeah, EP really dropping the ball on that one. Not shocking, but that pack of cards. But I do want to talk about, you mentioned this, Mike, how people kind of know us from watching us so often. He brought me two big stacks of like these 1991. They were almost like pro set feel, right? From like early 90s pro set feel of political cards. And it was like the rookie cards of all these elected officials over the years. Like the second card, as I'm looking through them, was Tom Ridge when he was a congressman who was our governor here in Pennsylvania. He was the first ever director of Homeland Security or Secretary of Homeland Security or whatever. I mean, he brought those, handed them to me, said, "These are for you." I said, "What can I give you for them, man?" He goes, No. You take these. And he said, "I actually used these for filler cards back in the day," which was hilarious. And he goes, "But I know you were in politics and I think you'd appreciate them." And I said, "Oh, thank you very much." I go, "This will be a great binder set." And he goes, "I was actually going to put these in a binder for you." And he goes, "But I know you have very specific pages you like to use." And I was like, that is one of the greatest compliments ever, that you know that I'm so OCD that I would want to put them in a binder in the pages I use for myself. So, that was a lot of fun. A lot of folks came out. Mark was great. Mark driving 8 hours. He had a lot of fun he stayed at our tables for like 3 hours, 4 hours, right? Like before he meandered around to everyone else. But yeah, everyone had a really good time. I joke about, I wasn't there to sell cards. I drove 4 hours to try and sell cards, but EP wouldn't let me. But I was there to have fun with you guys, which I did. We had a blast. We brought security Mike Jones with us. We had a blast with him too. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Speaking of Kevin, he brought me a handful of things too. It was like these gold. This is Dave Winfield. These gold Yankees cards, like some David Cohn cards. Like he's like, he hands me these 2 boxes of David Cohn cards. I'm like, I mean, what's going on? He's like, I've just accumulated them over the last, like with some collections of stuff I bought. Here you go. And then some Giants cards too, just crazy. And then Mark, he said, "Do you have this one?" And it is a True Value Reggie Jackson card with like an advertisement for a tire pumps on the back. And he's like, do you have that? I was like, "No, I don't." And he's like, "Well, I think you like you're a big fan of Reggie Jackson." I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I know you like the oddball stuff." I was like, "Yeah, like this is awesome." I kept looking. I was like, "I think it's in good shape." It's like, "I don't care. It's awesome. Like it is in good shape too." But like, just it's a really cool, it's an awesome day. Awesome day hanging out with you guys too. Like I didn't even figure out how much money I made yet. Like that's money's still sitting in my bag. I just had a blast. Like I had like all day long, which was like I would have paid just for the table fees, just hang out with you guys the way we did. Like it was just a lot of fun. It was a blast talking to people about cards, talking to you guys about cards, and then that's our normal shenanigans that we get into as it were.
Yeah, I know I had a good time because my poor wife had to listen to me talk about it. We're bigger guys here. Typically, when I go out with my wife, like we go to this little place, Mod Pizza. They make the little pizzas. They cook them in the brick oven. I'm usually done eating mine before she is, right? She was done eating hers and eating her dessert before I still had 2 pieces to eat of mine because I was talking. I'm like, wow, I must have been talking a lot because I'm still pizza. You're done. I had a great time though. So happy that I spent all the time and money to get my signs put up because I loved my signs that I had for my 50-cent boxes.
You were a draw. Those signs were a draw.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had people at your table like the entire day. Like there were some people that I think there were 2 people that were there like an hour or like maybe even more than an hour. Just like
a couple hours.
Yeah.
2 guys were there for at least 2 hours, like both of them. The one guy only left because he had to be somewhere by some point in time. But I don't think there was a span of more than 5, maybe 10 at the most minutes the whole day that somebody wasn't at my table. And there was only one time, I think, that nobody was there. So it was crazy. I put a lot of work into that, so it was nice to have people enjoy it. Like I'm happy that I sold stuff, don't get me wrong, but like the dumb part of me, like I love that I had different stuff than what most people set up at a card show with. But the people that liked that stuff found me and enjoyed it. Like we love cards from the 90s and early 2000s. When I was deciding what to put in my case, I'm like, you know what? I have a couple newer cards I'll throw in there, but it was all Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, like all that stuff. And that's what I sold. It was so cool. I was like, I wanted to be true to who I was, true to what I love. I didn't want to just be selling cards as transactions for money, newer stuff. I don't care about newer stuff. I don't. I love selling the older stuff.
Not like EP does.
Not
Mr.
EP. It's
Mr. Ultra Modern.
Mr. Ultra Modern. Mr. Rip it and grade it. Rip it and grade it.
Yeah. I love it all, man. I can't help myself.
I do want to give a shout out too to the gentleman who sold you some non-sports sets the last card show you were at as a customer, Mike. I was walking. We were shooting the shit pretty much the entire card show. Talking about non-sports.
He was right behind us.
He was right behind us.
Yeah.
So we had a really, really great conversation. And I had mentioned about, I might have to snag one of those Bates Motel sets. Totally lost track of it. Didn't even think about it. As we're leaving, me and Mike Jones are leaving. He says, hey, take one of those Bates Motel sets. I go, seriously?
For mine.
I know. I mean, I'm intergalactic superstar Joe Day, of course. I mean, but yeah, I snagged one of those Bates Motel sets. That was very, very kind of him. But I might actually have to have you guys snag. There were a couple of Star Trek promos. Totally forgot to snag them. So the next show EP, I might ask you to snag those for me.
Yes.
And then another gentleman, longer haired gentleman, did not catch his name. Feel bad. He's moving out of the country shortly. Mike, did you catch his name? No, Mike's muted. He's taking a drink. I apologize.
You're asking me a question right in the middle of a drink.
But he came over and was saying, I started watching your show somewhat recently, but I've been going back to all the old ones. So that was very, very kind of him to come up to us. And Mike actually broke his rule, everyone. Mike broke his rule.
Yeah.
He asked for an autograph from the three of us. And Mike broke his rule. I mean, EP and I were always going to sign that card.
Yeah. 100%.
I didn't really break the rule. I signed it, and then he had you guys sign it. So I didn't sign a triple auto. It was a
it was only singles.
It was a Mike Lutz 1 of 1, and then he added you to it.
Oh, wait. So it's not about you not signing. It's that you don't want to sign with us.
You with your friends. You don't want to. Okay, I hear that.
It's like,
okay. Now we know where we stand, EP.
Say you buy like a 1 of 1 Caitlin Clark autograph. If you then sign Joe Day and EP on that card, it's really not a triple auto.
Are you comparing yourself to Caitlin Clark? Is that what I'm catching right now? You had to pay for your Bates Motel set. I didn't. I'm just throwing that out there. So
I had people driving 8 hours to come see my table at the show. So I don't know.
I had some time talking to that guy behind us as well after you left show. And I was talking to him about actually you weren't there when I was talking about the Pokemon cards, but and I was asking him about all the stuff that he has there. And I said, so do you buy these or do you rip everything? He's like, I ripped all of those, like all those sets that he put them himself, like ripped everything. So he rips all that stuff. That's awesome. I thought like to have that kind of a collection to put out there for sale, I thought you had to buy some of it, but no, he buys all of it and rips all of it. And like, that's awesome. I love that.
So, Mike, before we move on, I do have to ask you, not you, EP, do not answer this. Mike, what do you feel was the word of the day or maybe the phrase of the day? Come on. Maybe to me, EP, do you know where I'm going with this?
100%, yeah.
EP, why don't you answer it? What was the word / phrase of the day?
Quasi-alphabetical?
Yeah, that was the one.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. People would come up to EP's like 40 boxes of 90s
so many
cards.
boxes.
The collection that he bought from Mike, that Mike had bought from someone else. It's moving its way down the family tree. I think I might buy it next. But people would come up and he would tell them, now if you're looking for someone, it is in quasi-alphabetical order. First off, no, it wasn't. I don't know what work. Quasi was doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Carrying a heavy load there.
Heavy load. Yeah, it was brutal. And I found a couple by happenstance, like, oh, hey, do you know where the
You were a divining rod, dude. No, you were a divining rod. You were able to
right
there it is.
Yep. But then we were looking for John Riggins like for an hour. Someone was looking for Aikman cards, could not find them. He leaves 10 minutes later, found the Aikman stack. It was a hot mess. You got
let me cut in here. That collection was alphabetized in chronological order. When the first person bought it, they went through it, yet kept it in that order. That person then sold it to me, who went through that collection and kept it in that order. And then I sold it to EP, who decided that it would be a great idea to take all these boxes of cards that were alphabetized and mix them all up.
Make them quasi-alphabetized.
Quasi-alphabetized.
I will say, by the time I got to it, I would say maybe half of the players in the collection did not have their starter cards anymore. That has like a little thing on top that says
still in
who it is,
order,
who it was, and so
it was right in there.
It was the Wild West. Okay,
it was Thunderdome.
When I got it.
Yesterday was Thunderdome.
Wait, so let me get this straight. Your excuse here is that, well, when I got them, even though they were all still alphabetized, some of them weren't divided and had a nameplate, so I had to quasi-alphabetize them.
Listen, Bill even said, "Hey, that's a good idea, mixing them all up and then putting a little giveaway in it." I had like a giveaway in there. It's like that's a really good idea. Get people to go through there and pick out cards they wouldn't think to pick out. I was like, absolutely, sir. That was my plan from the very beginning. I didn't think of the giveaway. I didn't think of the giveaway. I didn't think of the giveaway after. I was like, what am I gonna do with this mess that I've created? It was not after that.
It's also a good way to keep people who are looking for certain players to not be able to buy them. That's the flip side of that. Plus, we won't even get into EP's signs. I was talking about my side. EP had all these rules and stuff. First of all, I don't like rules. I don't like
quiz to buy cards. There was a quiz to buy cards at EP.
Most people were able to read, so they
did not read the sign. It would have taken them 2 hours to read the sign.
I needed binoculars. It was rough.
But I had to put the rules on there. You got to put the rules. I got terms of service, because if not, then people are going to be breaking the rules. I had somebody that pulled out like 3 different playing cards. Like, no, sir. You can only take one at a time. Please put those 2 back, and they did.
Have you ever heard of the KISS method?
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
I love you, man. You know this. I'm just gonna say, I think you may have overcomplicated things a little bit.
I don't think I did. I think it's pretty good.
Dial it back a little bit, make it a little more simple.
All my sales are because I could find my Mike Allstock cards like that.
You had one 4-row box. I would hope you'd be able to find them pretty quickly.
That
I had what? 17, the equivalent of 17 3,200 count boxes, I think, is what I brought. So there was
that's why I got the ass crack of the tables.
It was my fault. I underestimated what I had when I had a box of $1 cards and $5 cards and $10 cards that I could have put out, but there was no room for that kind of stuff. I think
I would have made room for those and maybe took a couple of the 25-cent boxes out of the way.
We got 3 weeks into the next show, EP. You got this.
Yeah. I'm good.
All right, well, let's get into it. We have some huge news going on this week. So, did you see that Geoff Wilson had a big announcement this week? The hobby changes forever on July 23rd. People were speculating. People got to talking. What's going on? Are they going to do some good things? Like, something good is going to happen for the hobby. Well, turns out that Geoff's just selling another repack. Apparently, he's releasing the Golden Grails repack, which are PSA certified repacks. We'll get into what that means later. $299 per pack, floor of $140, supposedly, ceiling of $1,800. Sold 200 of them on pre-order, and they sold out the first day within 12 hours. I tried to and talked to Geoff. I gave him a comment on his tweet when he said about this, because let's keep and leading up to this, he called repacking icky. It's an icky part of the hobby. It's a shady part of the hobby. My question to him was, I don't remember ever hearing him use any words like icky and shady and telling anybody who was potentially buying this stuff the dangers of it and stuff, leading up to the point to where he was going to be selling them. Now that he's going to be selling his own, all the rest of them apparently are icky and shady, but now his concern for collectors, because he's clearly doing this for collectors to make it safe, not to make money, because Geoff never does anything to try to make money. Just listen to him. This is changing the hobby forever. He is helping collectors. Didn't care enough to help them for all the ones that may have been screwed by repacks and shadiness and ickiness of them up until this point. But now he's going to save everybody. And the money he makes, I'm sure he'll be donating it all to hobby charities.
Jesus, don't do that. That made me cough. So here's the thing. Icky and shady are really weird words to say. I wonder how that happened when he won doing Arena Club subscription. When he was saying how good Arena Club is. Yes, please.
He still has an Arena Club repack. They have the sports card investor repack they're selling, which are Geoff and Teapot's picks of cards that they think have the best chance to appreciate in value. So, if you get a bad card, it could be good in the future. Just throwing that out.
Yeah, so that's a weird commercial to come out and say, buy Arena Club, they're icky and shady, right? Because that's what he would probably say, right? I would assume, because if all repacks other than this one are icky and shady. Anyone who's saying he's doing this for the good of the hobby, you are either a shill for Geoff Wilson, sorry, or you are dumb, I guess. I mean, he's doing it for money.
In fairness,
we agree with that?
I think Geoff is the only one who has been saying that. Like, reading the comments of all the tweets he's put out about it, pretty sure Geoff's the only one that thinks he's helping.
There are not as powerful as EP bots, but there are a lot of Geoff Wilson sports card investor bots out there. He'll go on any channel and talk about it. And while he's on there, they really don't push too hard on him. Just saying, maybe if you went onto a channel that maybe would push back a little bit, maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea, because people might not be saying, Geoff, you're doing this for money, right? But they're really, really nice to him when he's on their channels. So I don't know, maybe we won't get to the bottom of how he actually feels about cards, how he actually feels about repacks, but yeah, this is to make money.
Somebody just ask him, do you really feel like this is icky? Have you done anything to help collectors before you came out with this? Like, just ask him. You have him on your show. Ask him.
Ask him about Arena Packs too, Arena Club too, please. I need to hear all of it.
He should come on this show. Come on this show.
That would be fantastic.
I'm the guys know that I can be aspirational, right? I want things to be the best. I want to work out. Typically, I want the movie to be a really good movie. I want the video game to be a really good video game. I want the cars to be really good. When I saw the thing, the announcement, the big things are coming, I was like, I hope it's something good. I hope it's something cool. And it was Repack. I was like, another Repack, just a Repack. I'm going to fix repacks. No, there's no, I think can you fix repacks? Is there a really way to fix it? They are what they are. And some people like them, sure, whatever. Some people like to make them and sell them and make lots of money off them. But they're not for me. For the most part, they're not for me. I've purchased a couple repacks here and there, and I found some decent ones, but never the ones with the ceiling of $1,800. I will never ever buy into those, because again, they are gambling, right? This is clearly the ramping up of the gambling. The $1,800. If you're talking the difference between $1,800 and $400, is that the floor of $440? $140 and $1,800. You want to talk about gambling, man? That is what that is. 100%.
Yeah. Geoff's not a bad person.
No,
he's not shady. He's a businessman. You have every right to make money. The problem is you do this stuff, and this is what drives people crazy. You're selling this dramatic thing, and yes, you're getting attention, but you're getting a lot of bad attention when you come out and what you're selling isn't really anything that's changing the hobby. You're just going to make money on repacks, but then you also then have to talk about how bad repack, like, just stop with that. Just release your own repack. Don't create all this hype and drama around something and act like you're the savior of the hobby. Like, he doesn't know a lot about a lot of cards. I'm not saying everybody has to know everything, but his knowledge is a lot lower than a lot of other people in the hobby. You're a businessman, fine, that's okay. Release a product. Say we're releasing this PSA repack. It's fine. Do that. Don't put all this around it.
He's a politician.
He is, and this is what
a politician.
Causes like people to just cringe when he does this stuff. And I mean, he's doing fine doing it. He's going to make money selling these, but anybody could, which I'll get to again in a minute.
Yeah. I do want to shout out our boy Bargain Boxer. I was driving to Danville. It's about a 4.5 hour drive, and Bargain and I actually talked on the phone for like, I don't want to say a half hour or so before the rain really started coming down. I had to focus. We talked about Geoff Wilson. I said then to him, I go, he's a politician. At the end of the day, that's what he is. That's fine. Like Mike said, if you want to make money, that's cool. Don't come out and say you're making the hobby a better place, because it's not like, and I will say this, if this repack replaced every other repack, there was just this repack and this is how it's going to be done. Okay, sure. Like maybe, because this feels like, again, it's like when Fanatics got into the repack game, right? Which again, they're apparently, I wonder if Michael Rubin heard Geoff Wilson say that all repacks are shady and icky. Doesn't Fanatics have a repack? Fanatics, are you listening? Michael Rubin, are you listening? Geoff Wilson's calling you shady and icky. Just throwing that out there. But like, you have these bigger companies doing repacks, and they probably are safer than the people that are going to some of these card shows, buying stuff cheap, putting a bunch of crap into their boxes, and then there's one big hit card that their friend might get. You really don't know, So in and of itself, yes, this is a much better version of what we probably have. It's not changing the hobby because all those other versions are still out there. So like Mike, I think you called repack. I think when we were talking about this, you called something repack related. I was more hopeful. I was almost like EP when I saw this. I'm like, he owns Market Movers. There's a lot of a scuttlebutt about breaking going on and the cost of breaking and things like that. Maybe there's a Market Movers app that it's going to tie into breaking, and it's going to be this thing where you can tell how much a break from each breaking company costs, so you can kind of comparatively shop. That was my hope. Nope, it was a repack. It was just a way for him to make money. So yeah, he's a politician through and through. He's a businessman through and through. But at least own it a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you guys both 100%. Like, I have nothing against Geoff Wilson personally. I think he could be good for the hobby. He's definitely the politician, as Joe said. But like, he's the face of the hobby, right? So like, you think about like Matthew Berry, fantasy football, catches a lot of extra flack because he's the guy that was on ESPN. Well, at least he used to. And so you think about like these guys they face extra scrutiny because they are have been thrust into this place where they are the authority. They are the voice for whatever thing they are doing. And that's why I was kind of excited about the announcement. And that's why I was disappointed when it was just a repack. Like they're like Joe was saying, there are so many with his resources and everything. There could have been so much more in his reach. There could have been so much more. We were talking a number of times in the show about how when things are shady in the hobby, he should be talking about it. He should be the one saying about backyard breaks, like the whole thing that went down there. He should have been one of the people saying, but as the politician and the leader of the hobby should be there. And this is just another money making thing. And again, I will echo Mike. Like, he's a businessman, make your money, do your thing. But also he because of his reach, he needs to also be the face and do important things in the hobby. And this is just
there's some responsibility to having that many followers in this hobby. There are. Yeah. And if you don't, you're actually the shady, icky one. If you have the reach that you do and you're kind of just using it to make money,
great power
kind of makes you great power, great responsibility. There you go. Yep.
And it's also icky too that Grant and the other guy that were the guys that were on stream saying the things they were at PSA headquarters breaking this past week too.
Yep,
So,
I heard that.
great job, PSA. Way to go, Nat. You might be wondering though, what does a PSA certified repack mean? Well,
I do actually.
PSA is going to allow repackers to buy through the PSA offer thing. Remember, we talked a while back how people that had cards in the vault or cards that were graded were getting offers to sell the cards right to PSA or through PSA's eBay site. PSA will organize and pack the repack, and they can ship it to the repacker or to the direct consumer. And they're in negotiations with other sellers to do it. We sold a collection of baseball cards and we have a little bit of money in our card account. I think we should get in touch with PSA and start our own repack. Our PSA.
Not after you just called out Nat Turner. We could have, and now you hosed us, Mike.
Yes,
I mean, I was going to suggest that. Damn.
It's funny how he disappears when important things are out there to talk about, but you know,
yeah, really.
Yeah.
When it's petty shit, he's real quick to get on Twitter, isn't he? I'm good on doing that PSA. So you're telling me, and this is not even a bit here. So you're telling me that the Geoff Wilson PSA repack could have been literally anyone.
It's going to be other people.
Could be anyone.
Yeah, it's not something special and exclusive that Geoff Wilson got with PSA. It is something
he's the first one.
It's something PSA is doing that he's the first one to be doing it. So that also makes the whole hobby changing thing and like making look at me. It's really PSA that's doing it.
Right.
This is a new business strategy of theirs, gross as it may be. But yeah, there are going to be other repack, and I'm sure there are going to be bigger places that take advantage of this. Why wouldn't you?
Right. I was just going to say real quick, EP, that like this is all fine and dandy. Again, if all the other repackers would go away and it was just the big companies doing it, because now you've got the two biggest companies in the hobby doing repacks. You've got PSA, you've got Fanatics. And then, you know, the one I like to watch is Leighton Sports Cards. They do their own repack and people seem to like them. But, you know, like, I don't know. Weirdly, I trust them more than I trust like Fanatics and PSA to get this right. I don't know. I could be completely off basis on that, but all of them are kind of skeezy. So what's it matter at this point?
I think the only ones that, again, I purchased into a couple. I think the only ones that aren't skeezy, in my opinion, are like when you get packs, like packs of packs, or if you get one where it's like $10 for a bunch of random, you know, cards, or whatever. I think when you're talking about the high floor, high ceiling ones, those are the ones that are kind of problematic, and those are the ones that are that obviously PSA is doing that they're turning into this. My big question, I almost interrupted you there, Joe. I apologize for that when you were talking there. Like my big question on this whole thing is who came up with this idea? Did Geoff go to them and say, hey, you should do this, or did PSA come up with this themselves?
I would bet this was something PSA has been working on for a while. PSA is the bigger company, so I kind of feel like we've seen them dip their toe into all areas of the hobby. They're doing what Fanatics is doing. We've been saying they've been out Fanaticsing what Michael Rubin wanted to do with Fanatics because they're the grading company. They have that one part Fanatics doesn't. So now you can make an offer to our people that are getting cards graded with us. Like Fanatics can't offer that. So I'm sure it came from that end.
I love how you turn Fanatics into a verb. Out Fanaticsing, like that's great.
So. Oh, they did. The one here's a little thing that I have a question about though. So repacks are based on value of the card. You're looking at the floor and the ceiling of these things. Markets are always changing. Both Geoff Wilson and PSA own price apps, Card Ladder and Market Movers, the two biggest ones for determining values of cards. Anybody else just feel a little uncomfortable with the fact that two of the biggest companies that show you what the pricing is on cards are now going to be determining what the value, telling you what the value of the card is? Or should this be a good thing? Should I just trust that there's no funny business that could go on in private businesses that aren't being audited and don't have to be transparent with how they're coming up with the prices that they're calculating in their apps? Am I just, a cynic?
I don't have my conspiracy hat, Mike, because I think I put that on. I don't have a wait, where's the stormtrooper helmet?
Yeah, nothing.
No, I when you started saying this, my thinking was before, and I didn't mention, was just prices changing in general. I mean, when you buy a repack, when a repack is packed versus when a repack is sold versus when a repack is open, those prices can change like 4 times, 5 times. They can change in an at bat. They can change at a touchdown throw. Like those prices are going to, like, you can't tell me, for a fact that the floor is 140, and you can't tell me for a fact that the ceiling is 1800. Those numbers can change drastically. Now, your thing on top of it with kind of, I don't want to call it conspiracy because it's actually a really good thought.
It's a question.
It's a question. We're just asking questions here, people. We're just asking questions. But, it makes you wonder too, it's like when PSA decides what card should be upcharged. Who determined that? How did that get determined? You're trusting that these businesses with a lot of vested interest in what cards are worth are doing things on the up and up. And boy, oh boy, that can bite you in the ass real quick.
Yeah, trust is the key word right there. Like you were like, I don't know if I trust it. You think you should be able to trust big time companies, but also we can't. They've proven that we can't. Like they've given us like so much evidence that we should not trust even the big companies in this hobby. One of the things I wasn't going to bring it up. I thought about it the last time I was talking, and like repacks are like they're these grassroots things. Like back in the day, dealers, Mike knows this. Like dealers used to put together little grab bags for $5, and that was for $5 you can get some decent cards out of there, some whatever. But the issue is that it has grown into this thing where these people are putting these massive cards in it, and that, of course, that's when the big companies have jumped in. But it feels kind of gross to me that these big companies are doing repacks, where this is always the thing that like the local little guy used to do repacks, and again, it's changed, so that's why it's done it. But it feels kind of gross to me that
I do want to push back a little bit, EP, and say the reason I feel safer, quote unquote, safer with the big companies. They're not going to dip your cards, as the kids say, right? Like you're going to get whatever card you get out of that pack. They're not going to make sure their friend gets it. Again, never know, but I feel more comfortable that they're like Michael Rubin's friend, who Michael Rubin doesn't know about sports cards. I bet his friends don't either. But like Michael Rubin's friend is not going to get the big hit. So I feel safer in that aspect than some guy going to a card show, buying some stuff at 70% of comps, throwing a bunch of stuff into some bubble mailers. At least in my opinion. Again, safer is all relative when you're talking about stuff like this, right?
And so, I mean, it's all based on the price too. The starting price is, I think, the big thing. Where if you're paying $100 for a repack compared to $5, that's it's a very big, very big thing. So.
All right. Well, moving on. Other big news this week: Peter Steinberg resigned as the president of SGC. I know there's still people out there, content creators, saying that SGC isn't going anywhere. Yeah, it is. SGC in the form that we have known it is absolutely done. They're done. They're over with. If they last as a company, who knows? But clearly, like we said all along, PSA bought them to take the graders, to set up an office in Florida. Strategic move by them. Ryan Hogue was actually on Neo's channel. He had an interview with him. It was a really good interview. You should go watch that. But he clearly said they want to make them a smaller, more boutique. And come on, it's card grading. How are you boutique card grader? Boutique is for things that are like handmade and more expensive. Like that's not for a cheap, quick, small grading company, and wants to take them more back to the levels they were grading in 2017, 2018, and 2019. Now, I don't know how many people remember, but back in that era, SGC, they weren't grading many cards. Peter's leaving because he wanted to grow the company. Collectors bought it, wouldn't give him any money to grow the company. So he saw the writing on the wall. He's out. Anybody who thinks SGC is going to be around, just look at everything that has happened. It's done. Ryan Hogue already said they've transitioned graders. Now they took them. They're working on PSA cards. Think about SGC was grading about the same number of cards, and their turnaround time was getting longer and longer. How could that be, Joe?
Yeah,
infected by PSA.
I'm sorry, they're on their way out. They're letting it go small, and it's eventually going to be gone. But it's non-existent as a non-player in the game, regardless of whether they just keep the name around for a little bit or not. Done. Bye.
Yeah, I said a couple of weeks ago, over under was 6 months that they would be shut down. I think I was a little high on that number. That's kind of crazy. I'm taking the under on my own over/under line of 6 months. It is nice to see that Collectors Universe finally released the first batch of hostages, and Peter was able to get out with his life. So that's good to know. He did look like in that video announcing about collectors, if you remember.
I remember
hostage. You wanted someone in the background to hold up a newspaper to verify proof of life. Kind of scary. But yeah, as soon as Peter left, he was the heart and soul of SGC in the post-COVID era, the post-COVID era. He's the reason they were as respected as they were. He's the reason that the grading was as precise. It was one of the most consistent grading out there. You have big graders like Alico 3 who are like, SGC's the best graders. They don't have the best resale. He admitted that, but they are the best graders. And those best graders are going to PSA. I'm guessing they're working on high-end cards now. It's funny. The SGC graders are probably working on every card. PSA's like, oh, these are the good ones. We better send them over to the high-end stuff. Get our graders out of there because they don't know what the hell they're doing, right? So, yeah, boutique, right, high-end, small. Yeah, it's not worth keeping the lights on at that level. So it's going to get shut down. It's really sad to say. And I don't know. I've been out of watching content the last few days because I've been traveling. I don't know who in the world would not see the writing on the wall here. And maybe, maybe they'll be alive in like technically, but spirit wise, they are dead now. There is no other way to get around it. So, before EP goes, I did want to say, you mentioned Northeast Ohio Cards and Comics. How about him trying to buy a Star Trek card from me? Back off, pal. You ain't getting my Star Trek cards. Come on now. Come on, man. No way.
Joe, oh, these are the good ones is a great line. That's perfect. That's so good. The graders, stay on the graders. Oh, these are the good ones. Like SGC, like if you're a company and you're not growing or looking to grow, what are you even doing? Like that is the opposite. You're looking to fail. Like that's the bottom. Like if you're not going to help the company grow, then you're looking to try to make it fail.
No specials. Like, there's no specials, EP.
No specials. No discount through bulk graders. Like, come on. It's like, thing that we are chopping this tree down.
I love SGC. I've graded a lot with SGC myself. I sent a bunch of those like 2023 tops and stuff in, and I'm sending a few other cards. I really enjoy their slabs, and I very much enjoy their prices and turnaround time. Like that is why, that's part of the reason why you use them, right? But like still like they're grading their how good they are grading their accuracy in grading is also a thing. Consistency and accuracy. Like, dude, like they're so good. So I hate to see him go. That's why I said, Joe, when I asked you yesterday, are you still sending cards to SGC? I don't know if you're still planning to or not, because with everything that's going on, I don't know if you're still
I'm pushing that time to August when I'm here for the fantasy football draft, because I know you wouldn't be ready to send. We'll see if SGC still has a address to send in August. So this will be a good test case.
Maybe CGC instead of
maybe.
that. I said to you guys in a text thread about this when we were talking about this this week. I said, well, hopefully Peter goes to like SG or CGC. Hopefully he goes to something like a competitor to PSA, and hopefully turns them into, helps them become whatever.
Might have a non-compete.
As Mike said, there might be a non-compete. Who knows what happened with his contract or whatever when he signed. So
there might
be really
be,
cool if he did though.
I can fit a fourth box on this screen.
Dude,
just saying.
Yes.
Peter.
Peter, come on.
Talk about someone who knows his shit.
Spill some.
Yeah.
It'd be great. He could be a permanent fixture on the podcast. He could take over my part of it. I'd be fine with that. All right.
He could grade our cards, right? Could he grade our cards? Give us a little raw card review situation? That'd be great. Thank you, Peter. We appreciate that.
Why don't we start a service where people can just like hold their card up to the camera and he can tell them what the grade is? Then we don't have to bother with all the sending away. Yeah, there we go.
Get on down here.
Well, one of the cards that you're going to have to wait a while to grade is the 1/1 Cooperstown calls from Topps Chrome of Ichiro. Topps, okay, I need your thoughts on this one because they're trying something different. I'm not sure how successful it is. Some people might love it. I don't know. I'm not really sure where I stand. We'll get to that. In Topps Chrome, they have a new insert called Cooperstown Calls. Every year, they will be doing this set from the Hall of Fame class. So the players that are inducted in a certain year will get cards in this set. There's a little catch. The parallels to build the rainbow, if you will, of this is going to take you 7 years because in 2025, this year, you can only get the blue parallel number to 150. So Ichiro, the headliner this year, can get his blue 150. Then next year, you can get the green to 99. In 2027, you'll be able to get the gold to 50. In 2028, you'll get the orange to 25. 2029, you'll get the black to 10. 2030, I forget what year I'm in here, you get the red to 5. And 2031 will finally have the Superfractor 1/1. As an older person, I'm really not interested in that kind of
I was going to bring that up.
But there's one little caveat that I just don't understand here. You're doing this every year. So by 2031, while they may not be for all the players, you're still going to have the 1/1, the out of 5, the out of 10, and out of 25, and out of 50, and out of 99, and out of 150 in your product anyway. They're just going to be for different players, and the set's just going to be bigger. Isn't it kind of the same thing as just putting them all out in 1 year and then put them all out why? What is the appeal to stretch it out over 7 years? We might not be here in 7 years.
People, first off, stop stealing EP shtick. I mean, I was going to kick the EP and be like, dude, tell us how we're going to be dead before this even happened.
2031 is so far away.
It is so far away. EP doesn't even like to trade future draft picks in fantasy football because he might be dead and won't be
correct.
That's what his big deal is. It's because they're preying on people's obsession with building rainbows. And so now you have a built-in customer every year trying to build this rainbow out year after year. You're kicking it down the can. It kind of actually reminded me of the MVP buyback program where it's like, Jesus, in like 10 years, there's a lot of chickens come to roost over at Fanatics. They've got to pay out all these people hitting the Hall of Fame. Maybe they're going to have all these different parallels from a previous year's set. Right. It's very, very confusing. I think Fanatics is like, we can't come up with anything new, like legitimately good and new. So let's just like spread out the stuff we have over the course of like 10 years. And hopefully people won't notice it's the same card. Like, I don't know. If I was a real big super fan of Ichiro, wait, who is it?
Ichiro,
whatever. I'm not the baseball expert. But if I was a big fan of his, I would be so annoyed by this. It's like it's like almost having to do homework to go see a Marvel movie anymore. You have to watch 8 different properties to make sure you don't miss some little Easter egg in the Fantastic Four movie. It's absolutely ridiculous. But it's rainbow collectors, and trying to keep them in buying this product.
Yeah, to riff off what you said, Joe, they're like, oh, well, we can't come up with any good ideas. So what can we do? It was like, well, we know parallels. All right, I got it figured out. Here's what we can do. And so, I mean, there are going to be people excited about this for sure. But like in general, like I don't want to collect a card. Like what's that set going to look like by the time it gets to 2031? when it has at the probably I'm guessing at the tail end of the set, the card number is like 335, 355, 356 or whatever. They're gonna all look like from 7 years ago cards. Is that what they're gonna have? Is that what's gonna look like? Like I don't.
Has to be.
So it just seems like a weird. Like they're trying something new. I don't want to ding them for trying something new. I just wish it was something better new. I guess is my thought on it.
Better new.
Better new.
Well, I'm using this transition then because maybe they are coming up with something better new. I saw this. Somebody actually tagged our old buddy Paul Lesko, the hobby lawyer. This wasn't from Paul, but somebody showed this to him. Apparently, it was a trademark or a patent filing for Topps. They want to create a new kind of autograph. I don't have confirmation about any of this, but I read the filing. It all looks legit.
I don't like
how do you do that?
But apparently they want to create a new process that they can have a sticker autograph in the card. So apparently there's going to be like a layer with the sticker autograph, and there's going to be another layer of the card,
like a refractor peel,
top of it,
like a refractor peel.
Well, you're not supposed to peel the top of the card off.
But you know what I mean,
so it's kind of like a cut autograph, but the cut autograph is actually going to be in it's actually a signed sticker inside the card. So
inside the card.
Say you're going to make a sandwich out of a card, and the meat is going to be this little thing with a sticker autograph on it, the size of a card, apparently, that they can put in between the back and the top of the card to make the sticker autograph. Isn't this a hell of a lot of work to make a sticker autograph card?
Isn't this a hell of a lot of work for avoiding doing on-card autos?
What some of the cut autos already look like. Isn't that what they some of them already are?
This is
some
why
of the cut autos. Some of them already they already have like a card on top of a card, and you get a little window where you can see the cut part of it, right?
Yeah. Well, now they want to make the sticker autographs go there, so they're stickers aren't on the card; they're in the card, so they won't. You know how some of them look really dumb when you put a sticker autograph on them because the background, it doesn't go with the background of the card. So this would be inside of it, so it would look a little better, I'm guessing. But it's a lot of work to give us more sticker autographs.
Are they trying to put lipstick on the sticker autograph? Is that what this is? They're trying
lipstick
to gussy up the old sticker auto.
The reason that they're doing sticker autographs instead of just on card, which seems simpler, is so they can use the stickers that these people sign for the next 10 years. That's why they're going to a player and saying, sign 10 years worth of stickers. We won't bother you again. And we'll just use these cards. This means to me, on card autographs may be a thing of the past with Fanatics and Topps. If they have this technology to make these sticker autographs look better, and they can just have them sign stickers. So that means they can put them in every single set because, again, it's that meat in the sandwich, right? All they have to do is print the front and the back, and then they can constantly just put these things together. I think this is a way of Fanatics trying to figure out a way to never have on-card autographs again.
But Michael Rubin knows collectors don't like sticker autographs. He said it way back in episode 1.
All the way in episode 1. Go check it out. That's what he said. But guess what? He's also a lying asshole. So I don't know.
The gloves are off,
words. Baby. They are not reflective of this podcast.
That's fine. If you guys think he's a truthful, great, awesome person, that's cool. I'll go with lying asshole.
I'm not saying that.
I think it's a little more, even maybe a little more sinister than that, Joe, in that I think the regular stuff is still going to be regular autos and regular sticker autos, but it's the high-end stuff, right?
The high-end might be these.
The thicker cards are going to be the ones that they're going to end up they're finding a way to make it so the sticker autos don't stand out quite as horribly in the higher end stuff, which the higher end stuff is where I'm paying $2,000 a box or whatever amount of money you're paying per box for one card or whatever. And that card is not going to be a sticker auto too. That's.
Would it shock you if they just try to go completely away from on card auto?
Would it shock 100%, not at all.
If in a year from now, 2 years from now, on-card autos are the way of the dodo, right? I really would not be surprised if that's what they're doing here. And you make a really good point, EP. Maybe the low-end stuff now has straight up just normal sticker autos, for the high end stuff with the thick cards, with that card sandwich, as Mike appropriately described it. Maybe those are the high end cards now. Maybe those are the Topps Dynasty. Wouldn't that be some shit? That's terrible if that's the case.
But the thing, like, how many people care about it though? Like we do, obviously, because we know what that looks like. But like, there are fewer and fewer collectors, I think, that care about.
Collectors care. I disagree. Collectors care. Investors don't care. Investors who are just waiting to, they're just flipping cards back and forth to each other. They don't care. I think true collectors, however you want to define that, if there is an option between a sticker, an embedded sticker, or an on card, a true collector will pick the on card auto without question every single time.
All right. Well, I have a tea time to get to, but I do want to talk. It is National Week. All the joking about sensible shoes aside from the beginning, we're not going this year, but what are your thoughts? Like, I just want to go around. You guys tell me what you're feeling about not going this year and any tips. We're not experts, but we've gone to a couple. And what do you have for people? How are you feeling about not going?
I'm laying it out here now, boys. I started to get FOMO. I'm not going to lie. Sorry, our buddy Mike Jones and I were shooting the shit about cards the last couple of days. Obviously, we went to the card show and worked together on Saturday, and I was like getting like legit FOMO because I walked around the Susquehanna Valley Mall show, which was actually, for us, again, a small mall show. It was actually a pretty nice attended show. They didn't have everything. Like, they didn't have like a bunch of tables with non-sports wax that I would have loved to dig around in. They didn't have really a lot of non-sports stuff, on tables with the exception of Pokemon TCG stuff. So they did have a box of 2022 WWE Prism for $360. Mike, I was going to let you know about that. Totally forgot about it. PTSD that you might have. So I started to get, so I started to get a little bit of FOMO here the last couple of days. I'm putting it out there, boys. I know it's going to be long, and I know we have to. It's going to be tough to figure out. I'm saying here now, July 28th, the year of our Lord 2025. Let's say right now, let's go to the National next year. Let's work hard to get there next year. Let's figure out all the planning here in the next 6 months and just make a concerted effort, because I am definitely feeling FOMO. Bargain Boxer, who did say he wanted to come to the show, he came under the weather. He got under the weather, so he's been sick the last week or so, is hoping he doesn't miss the National. He really wanted to come to the Susquehanna Valley Mall, legit. And then he was worried about missing the National. But he was talking about, he's like, you guys have to come. You have to come. And I said, I really wish we could this year. So next year, I'm throwing it out there. We really should. Any advice for people? We were joking, but not. We were doing a little bit of a bit at the beginning, but not really. Legitimately, wear comfortable shoes and socks. Wear thick socks. Wear comfortable shoes. Tie them tight. You are going to get blisters if you don't. It sounds like a silly thing. It sounds like common sense, but if you've never gone to a National, you might not realize how much walking you're going to do. And I don't know, take it all in. Don't rush and spend all your money at the first table. Just absorb all the cool stuff that's going on there. Walk around. If you see something super rare that you don't think you'd be able to find somewhere else, sure, pick that up. But if you're looking for a Josh Allen optic rookie card or something like that, there's going to be a bunch of those. Just kind of walk around, kind of takes notice of everything and enjoy it. Grab a beer too. Grab a beer while you're walking around looking at cards. It's not just a card show, it's an experience. So experience it, enjoy it, do something, grab a friend and grab a couple of beers. That's my advice. Have fun with it. But we need to go next year.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely echo your sentiment. Allow yourself to be overwhelmed, because you were going to be overwhelmed, especially if you're going for the first time. It is just I remember walking into the convention center that first year we went to Atlantic City, and when the size of the building alone, and think, oh my gosh, this is going to be full of nothing but cards and card people and card stuff. And then at the show on Saturday, when you guys were there set up, and Mike Jones was there, and we were just all kind of there, spending an entire day talking about cards and looking at cards and just whatever, and shooting the breeze. And again, our shenanigans, that is what we did when we were at the show in Cleveland. And so that brought up a lot of really fun memories, and thought to myself, you know what, this is, like a little bit of a mini national, but I kind of wish we were going to the national because multiple days and just like hanging out again, shenanigans, and just seeing all these amazing cards. Like I think back every once in a while about the No Name on Front Frank Thomas that I actually saw one of at that show, and just like the things you can see and the things you can do. Like Joe said, allow yourself to be overwhelmed, allow yourself to enjoy it. For me, I had that quest. I wanted to get that Spider-Man card really badly, and I didn't even like worry about that the first day. The first day I was just there just to be there, and like the second day was the day I kind of started looking for that. But I mean, like, just allow yourself to enjoy it, like Joe said, 100%.
Yeah, I agree too. I have FOMO. I wish I was there. I know it's not possible to go, but I do like the idea of trying to plan something for next year. It's a long trip, but it's a doable trip if we plan it out ahead of time and decide we want to go. But I would say have a little bit of a plan too before you go. Like decide, like prioritize what you might be looking for, because it's overwhelming. And like if you don't know what you're looking for, it can be really hard because you're going to see all kinds of cards you're going to want to buy. So you might want to prioritize. You don't have to stick to it, but give yourself a little bit of a guide for what you're actually looking for, because there's just so much there. You don't go to card shows where you see like rare cards on every table, but you do there. They're just you get numb to it after a while. There's so much there. So you really
those Brady tables where it's just what in the world is happening? Contenders autos out the ass.
The person had that case full of 93 SP Jeters that were all autographed, like just all that sort of like just like
randomly at the corner of their tables. Yeah.
And I'll echo what the other said. Enjoy it. Like it's not just a card show. It's an experience. Go with friends, meet up with people that you like interact with on social media and stuff. That's great. Like to finally get to see somebody and shake their hand or talk to them in person for a little bit is really cool. We just did that at the card show this weekend. So, I mean, that's a real opportunity to do that. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy the experience because we're all nerds. What a big collection of nerds all in one place. It's amazing.
And explore the surrounding area too. I will say this: we had just as much fun going to like that arcade bar that we went to in Cleveland. We like went to a lot of stuff within the area. The card show lasts to a certain point. Go to trade shows, whatever, trade nights. Enjoy the area you're in. If you don't get there often, like I definitely would recommend that, because I would not have expected to have as much fun in like Cleveland, like outside of going to the card show. And we had a blast every single night. We went and did different things, different restaurants, all sorts of fun stuff. So definitely explore beyond just the card show.
100%. Like we had so much fun at that pinball arcade. Like that was the pinball arcade. Yeah.
And definitely buy us all cards and send it to us if we can't be there. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah. We'll send our wish list down in the comments below.
All right, guys, we got to go play some golf. So that's all I got for you this week. I will see you next week. Take care, guys.
See you, boys.
Adios.